how if you really look at it, every time somebody black, typically a black man, but not always, but typically, there's never been really anybody to get out of the game clean.
Yes.
Almost everybody gets dirtied. The higher if they get to that.
Because we think with our heart, bro. That's the one thing you can't burn out of black people. We think with our heart. When we get that money and that position, it's like, oh snap, I'm here. George Bush is racist.
I mean,
That was the dumbest. Pardon me, bro.
No,
That was the dumbest thing that Kanye could have ever done.
Right.
Because now you've shown them why you can't trust us with airtime. If he had said, "Hoods unite," y'all get down there and help out the such and such, or help with the levee situation. If y'all following my music, get down and help these people, because I'll be down there. Y'all come build with me.
exactly.
When the 911 fell and Jay-Z said, I'm throwing a party at Shea Stadium for the whatever, that place was packed. Y'all got power, but you're using it for someone else. Why would you waste time at a Jerry Lewis telethon to tell me what I already know? I already know George Bush is racist. You're not amazing me with none of that, homeboy. But you would amaze me to ignite some hood power at this time to make people do a constructive thing. He missed the ball.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I mean, we could get real deep. George Bush Jr., the person that he accused of being racist, is basically, to pardon Fred Sanford, a big dummy. You know, his dad, now that's a powerful dude. That's an evil dude. You know, you study the history of the Bushes. You know, I'm not going to go into everything like that, but they've had a hand in a lot of the evil and the tyranny that's going on in the United States and around the world since the 40s, since the World War II.
Right.
Now, what happens is, unfortunately, I don't know, it's still mind-boggling to me. Maybe you guys can help me understand this better. 95% of the famous athletes, actors, singers, whatever, they somehow get involved in this organization called the Boule. And it's a Masonic order, and I'm not, down in all, Masonic situations, but for some reason, these guys all fall into this Masonic order, and I feel like it kind of handcuffs them as to what they can say and what they can do. Now, I've seen Bill Cosby try to speak out a couple times, and I feel in the 80s, they shut him down through his son, and I feel now they're trying to kill his legacy because he tried again to buy another network, and I feel like first time they assassinate you or someone that you love, and now this time they assassinate your character. Now, by no means am I saying that he didn't do any of the stuff that he's accused of, but I just find it kind of strange that he tried to buy a network, and then all of a sudden 50 women come out of nowhere and say that he drugged them and raped them and did all kinds of stuff. That can't be a coincidence. Like, this is a hidden agenda.
Yeah, because if we think with our heart with that kind of power, it's going to shift what's been the genocide all this whole time frame. This thing is meant to strip us of whatever sense of power we think we have and to get us into a system. That's not freedom. When we say freedom or death, there's a certain aspect of freedom that we're fighting for. You're erasing that from us. And other thing about the organizations, I wouldn't have people. It's too much information out here. The boule and all this cross and bones and all this type of thing. Look, I grew up. I knew Masonic order as a school. Nothing more. It's not about, some kind of organization meant to be secret while you're living ignorant. It's not built on that. You feel me? So when people start talking about these secret orders or whatever case may be, it's kind of above their heads. Yeah. They should leave it alone. Stick to the basics. If we talk about community power and you're talking about a order that's a fact or part of something, a sect of something that you know absolutely nothing about, leave it alone. Stick to your community building. When you master the basics, you will understand what that is a lot more. And you truly see if you have a alliance there or an enemy.
Right, absolutely.
You feel me? Because if we live in bad and someone's living opposite, then, where's the wrong? The wrong is in us.
Right.
Let's get it right first, and we'll see if some of those boule cats say, man, now y'all organized, and I can see these 12 centers doing well. $1 million.
Right. You can see that in different aspects of like I have a friend who does a thing in Harlem for kids, acting and theater, and he's been able to turn that whole situation around, and they just throwing money at him.
Correct.
Yeah.
We don't do enough right. When you hear people misappropriating the funds, you come to the Boys and Girls Center, the cat smoking blunts in the back of the thing. You know, I wouldn't throw my money at that. You know, a brother like this, if he was telling me, look, man, I got 5 referred community centers that I walk through every day that have a clean record, good staff, boom, they've been popping for about 2 years. I want to raise money for them.
Yeah.
I would trust his leadership.
Right.
Feel me? And now if I'm a politician person, I'm trying to get votes or support, I have to go see 10 of him
Right.
to say, what do y'all need here? And then the politician's supposed to say, well, you need to approve Bill 34, Bill 7, Bill 9. There's nothing you can do in my realm.
Right.
Be honest.
Yeah.
If you don't have any power, you know, then you can't have a conversation with me. But if you tell me what you need, I'll speak to your delegate about handling that. Look how we playing the game now. When you play the game, you get what you want. When you get what you want, you got to know what you're doing with it. If you about the kids and the kids are getting...
That's the key word. Misappropriation of funds.
Correct.
And in New York City alone, there's been 5 cases where black brothers have been, you know, busted. People I actually know and grew up with that have been busted. And I had no idea that they were doing this. And it's heartbreaking because it's like you look to these people and you think like, wow, you admire them and say like, okay, they're doing something good for the community. But they're doing something good for their pockets and other people's
Because you
pockets.
never know when you get another biscuit,
and
man.
that just basically just kills any chance you have of getting more money.
Right.
Some people care about the moment than the future, bro.
Right.
You got to separate that. In a boot camp,
Yeah.
you would be able to separate that. Because you say in your mind, like, man, you know, I was raised with him. He doesn't have the kind of community mental. I'm not going to work with that.
Right.
And you have true and living instead of a gossip mental on that person.
Right.
You have been raised with them in a certain thing. You can ask a person about them.
Right.
You can look at the resume and see how it matches to say, oh, man, this person's turned over a new leaf.
Right.
When they saw my brother, Professor X, with a crown on his head, it's two worlds different from him with the Yankee hat hustling these artists moving around this city, bro.
True. Very true.
Okay?
Very true.
I say, and when people come to me, man, you know, managers, they have a bad history and they do this and this and that. And I said, well, look, when you see my brother now, act like he touched what y'all call Jesus or whatever. Act like he touched him and came clean and got white cloth on and get out my face. Now, that's loyalty. Feel me? Me exampling that and people in my circle saying, man, I like Brother Jay and I saw what he did supporting that brother. I'm going to get behind. Now the movement goes like this. So regardless of his shortcomings, it's no longer important his personal thing. Like Malcolm say, you know, it's your religion and your situation is your personal business.
Right.
Whatever he does on his time is personal. But when you come to the front line, drop all of that and come forward with yours.
Right.
As long as he stayed there, that's my brother forever. If you bring your shortcoming coming to the table, we have to check you first.
Right.
Before the press get to you, before somebody has sight on what that is, we got to check you.
Right.
If we all kept like that from the beginning of time, of all the inceptions of these movements, bro, we wouldn't have no issues, man. That's when you're asking me, what can we do?
Right.
That's where it's needed.
Okay.
We don't have enough time to check something. Because we feel if we dedicate that time there, nobody's giving us a check. That's the word nowadays. I'm coming, but where's my check? There's no check in the movement. That's why cats don't like messing with the movement. Because no one's saying, hey, man, good effort today. You gathered 13 people. Here's a check. But if we brought 13 artists to the label, talking goofy biz, you might get a check. Get 1 million hits on the Twitter, you might get a check.
Exactly.
So what you think their focus is going to be? Getting 1 million hits on Twitter. Hey, if I put my ass on the sink and do like this to the side, 100,000 people like me. That sister's not going to go out and be trying to follow Queen Mother Rage or ISIS or any of this other thing or read anything. It's like, man, shit, I just get up in the bathroom, throw my ass up, and somebody will send me a check for ads. And they justify it and say, well, this is the new day and this is what it is. You're making that. You're making that. And it's hard to stop them because they've seen so many people successful, untalented people being successful doing that same thing. You took hustle money, re-up money, and built your situation, your demo so deep that you made an investor believe that you can lead the whole entire South. to some kind of new record way of existing. Now Lil Wayne is the top artist in the world. Not that he didn't pay his dues. You just seen him from a little runt, rolling up all the way to where he is, pouring champagne on the phone now. We made that. We didn't stop it and say, oh, man, enough. The whole crew, y'all been doing that forever. Where's something new? He now became a next generation's favorite. So he grew up as a little tyke in our generation, and now he's the OG in a new generation. Why? Because he was there. And we never stopped to say to the kid, like, yo, man, don't sweat that, homie. That money was awarded for something a long time ago. That's you admiring someone's hustle money. Straight up. You gave them cats $40 million, whatever case may be, and they bought their projects and all that other stuff, and they're saying, look, man, take this money. That money was given for them to say, yo, man, stretch that out. Somebody said, look, I'm going to stretch it out. Here's new generation, cash money, this. And the crowd didn't say, nah, stop it. I don't want to see Nicki. I don't want to see Drake. They said, more. So you can't be mad at them now.
I mean, my overstanding is Baby held on to that money. He didn't even give Wayne that money. That's what my overstanding is. I don't know how true it is.
Nah, Wayne's suing Baby for 50-something million now. Because
he don't need that, bro. Lil Wayne can call and say, hustle for me to any person that buys his record. He don't need that. None of these artists need that. That's why the music is what it is. They telling on themselves. Listen to the lyrics. I flip this, I do this, I whoop this, I whoop that. Right. They telling on themselves. Yeah, you sprinkle them with a little bit of change. You give a fool like that 100 G's, you ain't got to look back. He'll be Baby in 3 years. Right. Yeah. They don't need it, bro. Let's be real here. Right. You know what I'm saying? This young generation's like, yo, I don't need a job. Why? Because 12 of my people like ecstasy and cocaine. And broads coming here with fucking 20-year-old bodies who don't want to go to school and want to strip for us all afternoon and take some of our hustle money. What do they have to try for? Sexuality is no longer important. If you do a man or a woman, it doesn't matter in their mind. And to us, it was taboo. Now it's like, yo, man, everybody does it. It's the thing. I don't have to love anymore. I just have to play the game and stay clean as I can. Wow, it's like that. They simplified things that we kept in our mind like, nah, man, we don't deal with that. And that's what keeps us as a people. And they say, well, what people, what identity do we have? We still seen as ratchet coons. They don't have nothing to respect, bro. So when, a movement like ours, I have to be careful about how it's presented. Because it can't seem self-righteous. It can't be that. It got to be like, nah, man, we pay dues in these streets as well. There's two sides to the street. And it used to be just one street. Y'all made a division. No, I see it as one. You're not on no set. You my nephew. You come from my uncle's situation. When the movement stopped, you kept going as a gang. There's no separation. You my cousin. In some kind of way and form, as a black individual in these neighborhoods, you are my cousin at some point. I have to find the common denominator for us to build.